me like a Hellcat.
Hello everybody, and welcome to a slightly impromptu video today, because I was an idiot and I released my video for this evening this morning. Yes, when you upload your video as scheduled and you're tired and you set 6 PM GMT as your release time and accidentally hit 6 AM, there are some... It's like the video comes out in the middle of the night and no one sees it. So if you want to see the first of my Task Force Reaper videos, where we do some surveillance on some baddies in Polito Bay, check it out. It was the previous video, so I figure I'd make one for now, just so you've got something that's normal. And I thought, well, what have I not done? Well, I've not really delved into my characters to show you who they are as people, and I figure, not a bad idea to do. So for the first time ever, welcome to the character breakdown. This, as you can see before you, is Maria Lopez. You all recognise her. Seen some of her latest antics with the Black Diamond Cartel, and of course her origins with the Vagos, Los Santos. Maria was one of my very first characters I ever roleplayed as, and special place in my heart for her. She's often the pet I'll use for scenario roleplay, just because my favourite, honestly. And she's got a huge amount of history. Maria is of Colombian origin, but born to parents in US in San Andreas, and she began her life on the streets with the Vagos. You're seeing some of those episodes right now, and after something will happen in the near future, she ends up going to jail and turning her life around and going to college, getting an education and making something of herself. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you want to see it, she finds a different pathway, one that's a bit more fun. She's certainly one of my more crazy characters in terms of what she gets up to. Let's see, a lot of fun for me to play as this character. She's really vivacious. This is Jenny Maddux. Jenny is my homeless character, and she is fairly innocent when it comes to crime. She doesn't really do anything that's going to outright hurt people, and she has no designs on grand crime. Jenny ran away from her parents in Las Venturas when she was 14, now 19 and living in San Andreas in Los Santos, and she mostly lives out of her old tornado or different abandoned buildings depending on context and time. But, you know, she'll do petty things to survive, I think is the best word to use. She does what she has to do to live, and she doesn't really want to hurt anybody, but the situation is what it is. I like this character because she does force the cops to think differently sometimes, think about how they're interacting with someone and what the reasons are behind an act, what the reasons are behind a crime. And when someone shoplifts food, in her case it's starving, hungry. And often you see them pause and think, well, maybe a crime is not a crime for crime's sake, but people do things for reasons. So Jenny is kind of my moral character. She's a nice person, but to do some bad things to get by. You've all met Amelia, Widowmaker, my assassin character. She is based off of Widowmaker from Overwatch. And just like Widowmaker from Overwatch, Amelia, her origins are the same, in that she was kidnapped by the organization Talon, brainwashed. Doing so was forced to basically kill her husband, Gerald, and disappeared. Well, this put her in an awkward situation in that now she's still works at Talon, in my version of things, but she's starting to realise they're not quite right. The brainwashing is to wear off. She's working more freelance than for Talon, because those are the skills she has now. The contacts in the world she lives in, working as an assassin, is her life. There is a lot of depth that's going to come from her, and a lot of development I hope to bring in how she expands as a character, and perhaps one day may good. Have to wait and find out. He's definitely one of my more fun characters. I really enjoy playing as Amelie, mostly because Amelie Lacroix is a name that the cops barely can spell to put in the MDT. It always makes it fun. But definitely the more action-packed, crazy character, and a lot of fun to actually roleplay as Amelie. Everyone knows Kate Reilly, right? Star of my LSPDFR videos, and DOJ, obviously she was a sheriff default ped, but here, she's back in her full glory in DC as a reserve police officer. Kate was born in just north of San Fierro, Sierra Nevada deserts, basically Utah from Grand Theft Auto, and her father was a police officer in San Fierro. She came to college at UC Los Santos, and during her time there, her father was killed in the line. Kate switched majors to criminal justice and became a cop. Try and live out her father's is to try and solve crime and protect other people. A very honest and very honourable character, one that considers doing the right thing the most important thing in the world. Necessarily not always the procedural thing or the correct thing, but he wants to do the right thing by the situation. Sometimes things get bent for the greater good. But Kate is a good person, and she's out to basically keep people safe. Not necessarily to catch criminals, but to make sure normal people live a normal and happy. That's how she sees her role as a police officer. Enforce the peace rather than police the criminals. This character you have not seen yet. This is Annika Haller. She is one of my new characters who will be coming out soon. Annika is from Hamburg in Germany, and she is a professional mountain biker. Bit of an extreme sports nutter, and will often be found trespassing into interesting creative areas, having fun, free riding, and definitely more of a fun, silly character, but who knows where she'll go. There's a lot of potential for the future for Annika and what she'll get up to, but she's basically a professional athlete, so a civilian rather than a criminal. Beyond, obviously, base jumping off mountains she shouldn't be, and riding in places she probably shouldn't be. She's... oh, I don't know how she's going to function in the future, but we'll see where she goes. Stay tuned. Involving Annika. Hopefully be quite a lot of fun. This is, as many of you recognise, Lee Jae-un. Lee Jae-un is my North Korean spy, and she's a little inept, but well-meaning. At least as far as the great leader goes. She works for North Korean intelligence, and her job is to recruit people for the Pyongyang police force and to emigrate to North Korea in general, for the greater good of the communist state. Often, basically my comedy character or one of them, and completely ridiculous, or at least that's the point. I apologise for how horrible the accent is I use for this character, but you know what, it's fun. I enjoy just messing around with this one and trying to be as silly as possible and wind people up. I was going to have some comedy relief. This is Amelia Matheson. She's my very British character. Jolly British indeed. And she's only been in one video so far, but will be quite a few more in the near future. Keep an eye out for her. And, well, not much I can say other than she's incredibly British, posh, and arrogant. Tends to be quite fun. Either way, hopefully I do enjoyed this quick look at my characters and their histories, their origins, and, shall we say, their motivations when it comes to roleplay. Maybe it gives you a bit more of an impression of how they are as a person. I like to be really involved in my roleplay, which is why I try to give my characters each unique accents, and they may not be the most accurate accents, but I like to separate them from... because it's not me roleplaying whenever I'm in game, it's the character. So Maria Lopez is one person, whereas Amelie Lacroix, she is herself. This is just because I like to keep a separation for the sake of suspension of the disbelief, you know? And it's not accurate, like I said. I do my best to put enough flavour in to give the accent some difference, but I don't want you to think when I'm Jenny Maddux that this is Firekitten playing as a character, you know? It's Jenny Maddux playing the character. And I am not playing, it's the person. Kind of why I don't do face cam as well, because I think that would distract from the fact that this is a person playing a role, not me. And I like to keep that distinction. I like the immersion factor. Either way, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one. It's quick, brief, but at the same time I wanted to put something up at my normal time tonight after the snafu on launching the video. So if you haven't seen this morning's video, check it out. It was meant to be tonight, but it's now this morning. That is a first of the Task Force Reaper videos. It's the... what did I call it? Terrible pun. It was... I've forgotten my title of my video already. It was a joke about stakeout. Oh, stake out the trash. There we go. Have it, finally. Either way, thanks for watching this, guys, and hopefully this gave you more insight into characters and who they are in the wonderful world of San Andreas. And, well, get tuned for future videos. If you also want to see a video of me falling off my mountain bike for the first time properly, even though it wasn't very fast, tune in tomorrow for more riding the trails. Either way, thanks for watching, guys, and see you soon. Bye.